Hey everybody, it is me, Vincent. Welcome back to VincentVision. Welcome back to my channel. I am here at Universal Studios, Florida, where they are going in overtime getting ready for Halloween Horror Nights, which is just in a few short days, might I add. Last week, I put a video out talking about all the haunted houses you could expect this year and which ones I was the most excited for. Today, I actually wanted to go out into the park and talk about the scare zones and show you what they look like so far. They're not done yet, that's for sure, but there's definitely enough going on in the streets right now to give you a very clear idea of what to expect in each scare zone. And also, we know all the scare zones, so I'm gonna take you around a little tour of the park, show you all the scare zones, talk about them, and hopefully get you excited for Halloween Horror Nights, because I am pretty excited right now. So welcome to the latest episode of Vincent Vision. Watch out. So apart from the 10 haunted houses that we already know about, there are also going to be 5 scare zones and 2 shows this year. The first one here is at the entrance of the park, which they call the Avenue of the Stars. This is going to be the horrors of Halloween. This is where you're going to be able to get a little taste of all the scare zones throughout the park. Definitely get a feel for the event before you really head into the fog. The monsters that are going to be scaring you in the horrors of Halloween are actually going to be characters from all the different scare zones throughout the park. But what's special about this one is that we are getting the return of the Pumpkin Lord, a fan favorite character from Wicked Growth Realm of the Pumpkin last year at Halloween Horror Nights. I thought the character would just be like walking around in the street. No, they have gone all out. They have brought back this giant pumpkin set piece from the Wicked Growth Haunted House, and it's going to be one of the first things you see when you come into the park. So that is really, really exciting. The Pumpkin Lord's going to be beckoning people in, sort of like an unofficial mascot for this year. It is really, really great. And also, they have filled up all of the pumpkins, and if you head into the scare zone and look straight up, you can see the most popular little pumpkin, Little Boo. He is right there. If you look straight up, that is a fun little detail people are going to love. This is a great scare zone to get people excited for the event. Heading into the Hollywood area of the park, we're going through Nettlewood Cemetery, and what we officially know now is Graveyard Deadly Unrest. This is going to be where you see your spooky ghosts in your graveyard setting. The scare zone looks beautiful during the day, but I am really, really expecting this thing to shine at night. The description for the scare zone says that it takes place during a storm, so I am expecting this is one you're going to need to pass through twice. Once during the day as you go to the haunted houses towards the back of the park, but you definitely need to find yourself back here at night, because I think the lighting for this one could be pretty great, or at least has the potential to be something special. Stepping out of Graveyard Deadly Unrest, we head towards the Central Park area of Universal, and they actually just put up signs for one of the shows for this year's Halloween Horror Nights. It is the Lagoon show called Ghoulish, a Halloween tale. If this is anything like previous shows, you could expect a 10-ish minute long show here on the lagoon with lasers, projection, fire, a lot of special effects, usually themed to the different IPs and content of the year. It's been kind of mixed so far. I remember the first one they did with Ghostbusters and Stranger Things was really, really great. The next one, I didn't really care for it that much, I'll be honest with you, but this year has potential to be exciting because there is a haunted house based off the Weeknd. So if they get to use Weeknd's music out here in the Lagoon show, this will make it a really, really great show. It goes on multiple times throughout the night. It is usually pretty easy to catch, and it's very quick pop in. This is something you should definitely see if the show ends up being really cool. Or if you're someone who's a little scared of going into the haunted houses and you still want to be involved with Halloween Horror Nights, maybe seeing this show might be something that's on your to-do list. And speaking of Central Park, this scare zone here, I am happy to say, I was completely wrong about. Originally, I thought this was going to be a Dia de los Muertos scare zone based off the bar right next to it, but this is actually a scare zone based off of one of my favorite haunted houses, Scarecrow. We are getting the return of the Scarecrows in the form of Scarecrow Cursed Soil. This is going to be the Central Park scare zone, where you are going through a dilapidated farm. This front entrance here, what I thought was going to be dancing platforms, could very well be a barn. We are just starting to see some pretty serious decorations here in this area. You're seeing outhouses, you're seeing structures, wooden fences. This is going to be a pretty freaky scare zone if it's anything like the haunted house from a couple of years back. And if this entrance here is a barn, it's going to be like you're getting like a mini haunted house. I'm really excited to see this completed, and really excited to do this at night. So now we've made it to the New York area of the park. Before we start talking about the Scare Zone here, let's go ahead and do a quick mummy construction update. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about the New York Scare Zone, which is going to be called Sweet Revenge. This is going to be a 1950s Halloween town. There is a Halloween party for the town being hosted by a character known as Major Sweets, the guy on the big old truck that we've already seen. He is giving candy out to the kids, but this is special candy. It turns them into psycho killers, and they're killing all the grown-ups in the town. Cool thing about this Scare Zone is that there are actually going to be parade floats down the middle of the street. There aren't any here right now. Usually bigger pieces like that, things that go right in the middle of the street, come out during the in-between of Universal Studios closing and the place getting turned over for Halloween Horror Nights. There hasn't been anything added since the last time I was here. There are a few more gray tarps, which usually means things they don't want to show day guests, so nasty bloody body parts, dead bodies, the things you'd expect from Halloween Horror Nights. There has been a little bit of an update to the tribute store, though. It looks like it is getting ready to open for the Halloween tribute store. The sign is out, there are banners hanging, and what's really cool is they have a little board with all the newspaper clippings from the old tribute store at the exit, but there is something special on there that I think a lot of people have noticed as well. There's actually an advertisement for something called the Dead Coconut Club, which is actually a club out in City Walk called the Red Coconut Club, which has been closed for a really long time. They haven't really done much with it. So if they are hinting a Halloween bar, a Dead Coconut Club with the Universal monsters, that would be really, really cool. But we'll just have to hang tight and see what comes of that. There's a lot of food stuff happening in the New York area of the park as well. That area that was closed off for construction is reopened once again, and now there are actually a bunch of food tents or food houses. I don't really know what to call them, but this is where a lot of people are probably going to get a lot of those really, really popular Halloween Horror Nights treats. The twisted taters, the fried Oreos, the fried peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. This is where I got my beloved cherry pie from last year, so I'm hoping it makes an appearance again in some way, shape, or form. And I'm also excited to see any new Halloween treats they might come up with. They have really done a great job with food over the past couple of years, and it seems like this year it's going to be extra, extra important. So fingers crossed we find out what food offerings there are going to be this year at Halloween Horror Nights pretty soon, because I want to know. And over here in the San Francisco area of the park, we have Conjure the Dark, where an evil sorceress is summoning storms, apparently. It says a lightning storm is coming, but an evil sorceress is summoning demons from various dimensions to create the very first All Hallows Eve, aka Halloween, aka the 31st, aka HHN31. It's all connected, folks. This one, I will not admit that I was wrong about. I said witches. They are very specific with the term sorceress, but sorceresses are also witches, right? They both use magic. I mean, it's just a cauldron, okay? Maybe witches don't summon monsters from other dimensions, but the essence is still there. The Scare Zone has had a lot more added to it since I was last here. We have a lot more plants, and we also have these little baskets with skulls and trinkets and things like that. It is really, really well themed. I'm excited to see what this is. I don't really know what to expect. There is a really big stage. Will there be some sort of stage show? I don't really know. This has always been a really tight Scare Zone, so I don't know if they could have something where they stop the audience and let people watch something happen. Maybe they will. Who knows? That usually happens in the New York Scare Zone because there's so much space. But this Scare Zone looks ready to go. Lots of decorations, lots of plants, and lots of corn stalk, which I should add some clarification. In a previous video, I said that they were adding corn stalk all around, and I told you this whole story about whenever they use real corn, a hurricane tends to come and wipe everything off for Halloween Horror Nights. I have actually found out that it is not real corn they are using in the Scare Zones. It is overgrown bamboo, which looks a lot like corn. So that is good for us, folks. We should be okay this year. No crazy hurricane, fingers crossed. And over here in the back of the park, we have what is going to be the return of Halloween Nightmare Fuel with Halloween Nightmare Fuel Wildfire. It seems like this might be the Halloween show moving forward. It seems like it's going to be very similar to last year's with what I can assume some differences. There is one act that we know will be involved with this year. There's an Instagram group called the Fuel Girls. They do like pyrotechnics, twirling stuff around. They posted on their Instagram that they will be at Universal for Halloween Nightmare Fuel, so you could expect a lot of fire just like last year. I know people definitely will not stop talking about Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure and even the Academy of Villains, but I actually really enjoy this show. I didn't feel too strongly about it at first, but after I watched it a couple times, it really grew on me, and I thought it had some really great performers, some really talented people, great music, great fire. I think it fits in with Halloween Horror Nights perfectly, and I'm excited to see this version of the show, see how it adapts and changes every year, because, you know, Halloween Horror Nights is different every year. So hopefully whatever they can come up with for this year is just as exciting and just as different as last year. And that, my friends, are all of the Scare Zones and the 2 shows that you can expect at this year's Halloween Horror Nights 31, 2022, the 31st Halloween. I'm really excited for this year. It is right around the corner. I am so excited to make more Halloween Horror Nights videos. I will be there opening night on the ground on the guest level experience with Ellison. We are so excited. We've got our tickets. We've got our Halloween Horror Nights Express. We're going to show you guys what it's like to be a guest at Halloween Horror Nights. Go through as many haunted houses as we can. Go through all of them, I hope. Get some food. Just be at the event. Expect a lot more Halloween Horror Nights videos. The ones I've been putting out here have been really successful thanks to you guys. So I'm excited for a very spooky Halloween season at Universal at Halloween Horror Nights. But until then, that is all I've got. So thank you guys for watching VincentVision. I will see you at the next one. I've got this Central Park crepe here that I'd like to eat before it gets cold. I got the pulled pork brisket. Looks really good. Let's see if it's any good. We're gonna eat this. Maybe I'll eat this off camera. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. See ya. Happy spooky season. Bye-bye.